If you have a new puppy or a dog that needs to be house trained, here are 5 potty training tips to ensure that your dog is house trained. Number 1, and I preach this in basically everything that you do with your dog, and that is consistency. It is very important and imperative that you are consistent in the way you train your dog, the way your tone of voice is when you praise your dog, from the timing to feeding to the scheduling. It is very important that you stay consistent, because if you are consistent, it is the best way for your dog to get the hang of a new trick, a new command, and ultimately learn to potty train faster. Some examples of consistency is if you are about to go to bed and you want to take your dog out one last time, make sure you do it at a specific time every single night, so that when that time comes around, your dog will know that, okay, this is the time to go potty. He or she won't have another chance to go potty throughout the night. So again, that is one example, and I cannot preach consistency enough. As I go through the other tips, be sure to keep consistency in mind when I go through the other tips as well. Number 2, in my personal experience house training Jackson, which he actually did in 2 weeks, and that is not exaggeration. He is very smart, but the one thing that really helped is keeping him in an enclosed space / limiting where he can go as he was potty training. So what I mean by that is, I talked about this before, but when Jackson was just a puppy, 8 weeks to about 12 weeks, I would say, I kept him in this little, I don't have a picture. I wish I had a picture. I should have taken a picture, but I put him in this enclosed little pen area, and it kind of limited where he could go. I didn't want him to explore other areas of the house / apartment, because when he's exploring, he could potentially want to mark his territory or pee or wherever. By keeping him in an enclosed space that he's familiar with, he'll only get to know, really, again, that enclosed space where he sleeps and plays. But also, the only other space he would know is just outside. Limiting him to basically 2 areas, which he kind of knows, he'll get the hang of, okay, this area is for play, sleeping. The other area is for going potty / bathroom. So I definitely recommend limiting your dog, at least for the first couple weeks or until he or she is house trained. It makes potty training to go outside a lot easier for the puppy / dog. Number 3, going hand in hand with consistency, is positive reinforcement. You never want to punish your dog for going bathroom or having an accident, because at the end of the day, puppies are babies. They're still learning. They're gonna have accidents. They're not perfect. So again, you want to make sure that you don't punish, and positive reinforce and praise the habits and commands, the tricks and behavior of your puppy. Dogs learn the best when you positive reinforce good behavior and ignore bad behavior. So please keep that in mind, not only for potty training, but also any type of training for the future. Tip number 4, I kind of talked about this with consistency, but that is just having a strict and consistent feeding / a bathroom schedule. By having a schedule, it gives the puppy / dog a structure to follow, and so they won't be as confused when trying to figure out when to go potty, when to not, where to go potty and where not to. Again, by having a schedule, meaning having a specific time, so maybe at like 9 o'clock, every 30 minutes, every hour, depending on how your dog's behavior is. Having time intervals and an actual schedule will allow your dog to learn much more efficiently, but also faster. Also, on top of that, when you are making that schedule, make sure to pay attention to your dog's body language. For me, I brought Jackson out basically every 30 to 45 minutes when he was very young, and I think that really helped in house training him within 2 weeks. But again, if your dog could go for an hour or so, or maybe he has to go every 20 minutes, you just want to make sure that you adjust the schedule according to your dog, and make sure that the schedule is best and optimized essentially for your dog to learn the fastest and most efficiently. And lastly, tip number 5, you want to be patient. At the end of the day, like I said before, puppies, they're essentially babies. They have no idea what's right, what's wrong. It is your job to really encourage and praise good behavior and make sure that they don't form bad habits. Again, never punish. It is not a great way for a dog to learn, and they'll learn a lot easier and again quicker if you positively reinforce the good behavior, and just again, don't give attention to the bad behavior, just ignore it. If your dog is nipping or if it has an accident, again, just make sure to ignore it, clean it up, and again, over time, they'll get a sense that every time you praise good behavior, they're gonna start doing that. Because at least for Aussie Doodles, all they really want in the world is to please their owners. And for Jackson, I can definitely attest that to my experience. But yeah, guys, that concludes today's video. If you have any other tips / insights or any hacks, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'm sure a lot of new dog owners could find them really helpful, and maybe even me. I might be potentially getting a new dog in the future. We'll have to see. I think Jackson would love having a nice dog buddy. As a reminder, please hit that like button, as it really helps in the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new here, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button too, as it really means a lot to Jackson and me. If you aren't part of our Aussie Doodle lovers / owners Facebook group, the link is in the description. You do not have to own an Aussie Doodle to join. All I ask is no promoting or selling of puppies. I just want this to be a place where people can share their insights, tips, and just ultimately share the joy of Aussie Doodles. Tell your dogs you love them. Jackson, I love you. Thank you for watching and have an amazing day. Yay! Yay for Jackson! Good boy.